Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. I've been meaning to talk about this particular subject, and every now and then I kind of forgot about it. And what I wanted to talk about, which is something that I've been kind of debating with certain people every now and then. Not too often, but every now and then. Concerning the whole concept of evolution. And for those of you who know who Charles Darwin is, he's a scientist, an agnostic. Not really an atheist, but more like an agnostic. And he's the one who wrote the book, The Origin of the Species, or Origin of Species. And his ideas were pretty much very profound and genius in many ways of when it comes to the evolution of animals and how it pertains to humans. And for those of you who don't know who Charles Darwin is, I suggest you look him up. There's a movie that I honestly think is very, very good. And the movie is called Creation. And if you give me a second, hold on. This movie, for those of you who have not seen this movie yet, the actor, you probably remember this actor, and this is a very, very good movie. In my opinion, it's very, very good. And I highly recommend for a lot of people to watch it, regardless of whether you believe in God or not. It doesn't matter. It's I'm not showing you or telling you to or encouraging you to watch this movie. As a way of trying to convert you into anything. No. I mean, you're open to whatever you want to believe, but I'm encouraging people to watch this because it's a very good movie. It's very interesting. He does make very good points. So regardless of whether you believe in God or not, I think it's a very good movie just to watch, and just give me your opinion on it. That's all. To me, he makes a lot of sense about some of the things he was saying about why certain things have to exist just to be killed off right away. Why do some people? I mean, bad things happen. We all know that. Bad things could happen to good people, whether they deserve it or not. And good things could happen to bad people, whether they deserve it or not. And situations, good or bad, happens. That's just how it is. It has nothing to do with God or Satan or anything like that. It has nothing to do with sin. It would have a lot to do with people making a bad decision, or just plain good old fashioned bad luck. And good luck for good things. But what he's trying to say is, which is kind of messed up, but in a way it does make sense to me, that nature is actually demanding winners and losers. You are born a certain way to serve a certain purpose. You're either born superior or you're born inferior, which is more of not Charles Darwin's point of view, but more like Herbert Spencer. He's the one that came up with that phrase, that famous saying of his, survival of the fittest. You're either superior or you're inferior based on how you're born, and all these type of characteristics and genetics and things like that. Even though he makes a lot of sense too, he does go a little bit overboard. But he's the one that took Charles Darwin's ideas and used it for social, what is called social Darwin. So you really shouldn't get those two guys mixed up. These are two separate guys. Anyways, when he was going more and more on about what he was saying about evolution, it makes sense that we did descend from apes. It does make sense. There's no such thing as sinful nature. All the things we do, whether impulses that sometimes we cannot control, and like whether it's like anger, people have anger issues, people have like overwhelming sex drives. They get horny or whatever like that, and then they have to have this person, they have to have that, and then that need to have, and this and that. All these type of emotions that go out of control is not part of our sinful nature. It's part of our primal nature. It's primal because we're descendants from the Neanderthal. And in Neanderthal, the cavemen are descendants from the hominids. And the hominids are those ape humanoid creatures, the one that, walk upright like that, the one they call Homo erectus and stuff like that. They actually have fossils of their skulls. Archaeologists and people that they actually had bones of these people, of these creatures. And science has already proven that these type of hominid beings actually existed. And a lot of Christians are debunking it, saying that these people are not what they say they are. They're just people, human beings that are suffering from some sort of disease. And that's why their skulls are all misshapen and this and that. So they're trying to debunk that only because, in my opinion, they're threatened by it. And of course, it goes back tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, and the carbon dating and this and that. And there's a big argument over that too. But we are descendants from these creatures. So everything, a lot of these impulses are pretty much primal. So it's part of our primal nature to do all these kind of things. We can't put them under control. I mean, it's all about, learning. It's about, we do have the ability to be civilized just as well as we have the ability to be hostile. So it's something to bear in mind. So for any of you who wants to drop a comment and tell me what you think, just let me know. Drop a comment, any questions whatsoever. It really does make a great deal of sense to me, and evolution really is real. There's a few things here and there that I'm a little bit about, because as far as creation itself doesn't make that much sense. In a very large scale, I would say about 90% of the teachings of not evolution. I'm sorry, 90% of the teachings of creation is pretty much bullshit. And it is, in my opinion. In my opinion, it is bullshit. But the 10%, I have to admit, is actually true. There has to be a creator. And in my honest opinion, and this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but I do believe there was a creator, but it's not exactly what we think of it to be. It's not God himself or God or some supreme supernatural being. It's something else. Something else that created us. Excuse me. And then tampered with our DNA, and then we're able to produce and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get into that right now. But like I said, evolution makes a lot more sense than creation. And of course, you're open to believe whatever you want, and this is something that a lot of people have been debating and arguing and this and that over. So this is what I honestly feel. So to all of you, take care.